Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again as we get started on seeing the big picture. In this section, we're going to talk about your piece of the AWS Cloud pie. So let's get started. So when I started working on this lesson, the old TV show popped into my head. Again, I'm probably showing my age a little bit, but there was a TV show that had a theme song that said, "We finally got a piece of the pie," right? So this is about how you get your piece of the AWS Cloud pie. So previously, we talked about AWS and the makeup of AWS Cloud. So as a customer, you get a slice or a piece of the AWS Cloud pie. Let's take a look at what your piece of the cloud looks like. So when we think of AWS Cloud, remember we talked about AWS being global and the AWS Cloud being made up of multiple regions. Those regions were in various locations around the world. And we saw that here in the AWS console, where we looked at this drop-down list and we saw a list of different regions where we could put AWS resources. Within those regions, we had availability zones. So availability zones, again, are geographical areas within a region that have one or more data centers in them. Well, your piece of the AWS Cloud is called a virtual private cloud. So within the AWS environment, you create a VPC or virtual private cloud where your AWS resources are located. Now, your AWS resources within your VPC can be in one or more availability zones. So when we deploy a virtual server, which we call an EC2 instance, we're putting it inside of a VPC, and it's going to reside in a data center that is sitting in one of these availability zones. So as you deploy resources, you select what availability zone you want those resources to be deployed in. Now, we have a whole section on VPCs where we're going to talk about VPCs in more detail. But for this lesson, I mainly want you to have an understanding of the fact that the AWS Cloud, again, is made up of regions and availability zones, how your piece of the AWS Cloud is a VPC, and how you put your resources in that VPC. And you can have multiple VPCs within your account. You can have VPCs in the same region and availability zone, or you could have VPCs in different regions with different availability zones. So that's going to do it for your piece of the AWS Cloud. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next section.